Today's session felt like absolute torture. Man, I don't even know where to start with this. Um, Basically, I've been dealing with a case of brain fog for about the past almost day now. What had happened was yesterday afternoon I got my COVID booster, and unfortunately one of the side effects I tend to find when I get it is a very bad case of brain fog and a massive headache. And so all day today I was trying to will myself just to get to the keyboard just to do a little bit of work. And I ended up managing to get just a sparse amount of reading in, which is what you're seeing on the screen right here, is just me going over, just kind of reading through an old short story, just making a few corrections. But I got almost nothing done because I couldn't concentrate. The brain fog today was really terrible, and so I just basically got in, did a few minutes just to satisfy, I guess, this requirement of kind of writing every day, and then I got out. Um, yeah, I can usually write through a lot of different things. It doesn't take a lot at this point to stop me from writing, but unfortunately, as a writer, your tool is your mind, and your probably number one enemy is brain fog. Just not being able to think clearly is going to be your biggest detriment and your biggest enemy. For general brain fog, there are certain workarounds. Um, you can take the typical like caffeine, as well as kind of other supplements that you can take. Neurotropics is kind of an emerging thing now. So there are like supplements that you can take to kind of help clear your head and clear your mind. But with the case today, where it's something that just obviously just a side effect of the vaccine, you just got to ride it through. I kind of had to ride through it, and I'm hoping the next day or so, the brain fog starts to clear up, and I can get back to focusing on my content and focusing on my writing. It's definitely a strange feeling to not be able to do this, to not be able to write today, to not be able to really do much of anything. There's a time, a year ago, where I would have loved this, where, a day off from writing, a day not to write, would have been great. But now, I've mentioned before, when there are times when I don't write, when things come basically and I can't get much writing in, it feels different. It feels like I'm losing something. It feels like I've sort of kind of missed out on something. A lot of the old distractions that I once had, television, video games, etc. A lot of those old distractions, they don't hold me over anymore. They don't really offer much in the way of interest at this point, for me. So when I'm not able to get to the keyboard, I'm not able to really produce anything for the day, it feels very weird. It's, it's almost like that like I didn't do my purpose for the day. It's almost like I kind of just I sort of neglected my reason for getting up in the morning, in some sense. Although I have obviously other obligations and things in life as well. Doing this feels like just like a very much a tied in part of my identity now, which it's a result of 300 days now of writing every day. If you're going to do something every single day for hundreds of days, it's going to get ingrained into you. And that's probably the biggest reason why people should be considering, writing every day, or why I think it's worked out well for me. Just do it so much that your identity becomes tied to it. It's hard to not do it. It's just very, very difficult not to do it. It's the same with any other habit, exercise, you know, anything. Basically, you see people that do things on the regular, it just becomes part of your identity, and so when you're not doing it, it becomes very, very frustrating, and that's pretty much how I felt today. Very frustrated. Even reading the section, I wasn't even able to really focus on what I was reading. I was reading words on the page, but I wasn't really comprehending a whole lot. So here's to hoping that this brain fog goes away soon, and that I can come back to the keyboard tomorrow morning refreshed, and ready to continue this process. But for now, I am signing off, and I'm going to be getting some sleep soon. So, y'all have a good night.